Hanzakai. Translation: Japanese giant salamander. Alternate names: Osanshuodo, hanzaki, hanzako. Habitat: rivers and streams. Diet: mainly insects, frogs, and fish. Appearance: hanzakai are monstrous versions of the Japanese giant salamander. These animals normally grow up to 1.5 meters long. However, the yokai versions of this animal can grow much larger. They have rough mottled brown and black skin, tiny eyes, and enormous mouths, which span the entire width of their heads. They live in rivers and streams far from human-inhabited areas. Interaction: hanzakai and humans rarely come into contact with each other. When they do, it is usually because the hanzakai has grown large enough to eat humans or livestock and is causing trouble to nearby villagers. Origin: the name hanzakai is a colloquialism for the Japanese giant salamander. They are called hanzakai for their regenerative powers. It was believed that a salamander's body could be cut off, saku, in half, ban, and it would still survive. The skull of the salamander was said to resemble that of a human baby, until the word is written with kanji combining fish and child. Legend: there was once a deep pool in which a gigantic hanzakai lived. The hanzakai would grab horses, cows, and even villagers, drag them into the pool, and swallow them in a single gulp. For generations, the villagers lived in fear of the pool and stayed away from it. During the first year of Bunroku, 1593 CE, the villagers called for help, asking if there was anyone brave enough to slay the hanzakai. A young villager named Miura no Hikoshiro volunteered. Hikoshiro grabbed his sword and dove into the pool. He did not come back up. He had been swallowed by the hanzakai in a single gulp. Moments later, Hikoshiro sliced through the hanzakai and tore it in half from the inside out, defeating it instantly. The slain creature's body was 10 meters long and 5 meters in girth. The very day the hanzakai was slain, strange things began to happen at the Miura residence. Night after night, something would bang on the door, and something screaming and crying could be heard just outside the door. However, when Hikoshiro opened the door to check, there was nothing there at all. Not long after that, Hikoshiro and his entire family evaporated suddenly. Strange things began to happen through the village as well. The villagers believed the angry ghost of the defeated hanzakai had cursed them. They built a small shrine and enshrined the hanzakai spirit as a god, dubbing it Hanzakai Daimyojin. After that, the hanzakai spirit was pacified, and the curse laid to rest. A gravestone dedicated to Miura no Hikoshiro still stands in Yubara, Okayama Prefecture. The villagers of Yubaro still hanzakai Daimyojin by building giant salamander shrine floats and parading them through town. The annual hanzakai festival. Time for the next one. Translation: gashadokuro. Gashadokuro. Translation: onomatopoeic rattling skull. Alternate names: odokuro, giant skull. Habitat: any, usually found near mass graves or battlegrounds. Diet: none, but enjoy eating humans anyways. Gashadokuro. I'm just gonna call all of them odokuro. Odokuro are skeletal giants which wander around the countryside in the darkest hours of the night. Their teeth chatter and bones rattle with the gachi gachi sound, with the gachi sound of this yokai's namesake, but they are not always noisy. If they should happen upon a human out late on the roads, the dokuro will silently creep up and catch their victim, crushing them in their heads or devouring their heads. Crushing them in their hands or devouring their heads. Origin: soldiers whose bodies rot in the fields and victims of famine who die unknown in the wilderness rarely receive proper funerary rites, unable to pass on. Their souls are reborn as ghosts, longing eternally for that which they once had. These people evaporated with anger and pain in their hearts. Their energy remains long after their meat has deteriorated from their bones. As their bodies rot, their anger ferments into a grudge against the living, which twists them into a supernatural force. When the bones of hundreds of victims gather together into one mass, they form the humongous skeletal monster known as Odokuro. Too large and powerful to be defeated, Odokuro maintain their existence until the energy and malice stored up in their bodies has completely burnt out. However, because a large amount of disintegrated bodies required to form a single one, these abominations are rarer today than they were in the past, when wars and famine were part of everyday life. Legends. The earliest record of Odokuro goes back over 1,000 years to a bloody rebellion against the central government by a samurai named Taira no Masakodo. Okay. His daughter Takiyasha Haim, was a famous sorceress. When Masako was eventually defeated for his revolt, his daughter continued his cause. Using her black magic, she summoned a great skeleton from the bodies of defeated soldiers to attack the city of Kyoto. Her monster is depicted in a famous print by Utagawa Kuniyoshi